United is setting the standard for others to follow. Rising is leading.
How's Max doing?
He's doing okay. So how long before Max can play again?
Well, the vet said Max will be back to his old self in a couple of days.
Even the interior of the Chevy Blazer was designed to make you feel at ease. A little security in an insecure world. Chevy Blazer, like a rock.
Property owners, if weeds and brush are taking over your property, at last there is a solution. The amazing DR Field and Brush Mower can reclaim overgrown land with less work than you ever dreamed possible. The secret is that the DR works like a big tractor-mounted brush mower, but in a walk-behind version that's easier to handle and a lot less expensive. So if parts of your land are too overgrown for any ordinary mower, call toll-free for free details about the amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower.
Excuse me, number 8 bus go here. About number 9.
Who are you looking at?
Dry cleaners wouldn't take a check again, eh, Nigel?
Use Visa Check Card. It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted, so you can get what you need and get on with life.
ESPN coverage of the Chevy Truck U.S. Freestyle Championships is being brought to you by Chevy Truck, the one the U.S. ski team depends on. By the Home Depot. The Home Depot is a proud sponsor of the 2000 U.S. Olympic team. And by Visa, the official card of the U.S. ski team. It's everywhere you want to be. One skier remains in the battle for the men's Moguls title. This is 15-year-old Travis Cabral, another one of those Western skiers from Lake Tahoe.
That's right, coming from that area where Johnny Mosley and Basile reside. Strong skier for a young kid right here. Promising future. Look at the height on that jump. Huge air. Bobby's got the smiley faces going on his knees. After 15 years of doing this sport, my knees aren't smiling, but look at this kid go. Oh my God, that is a giant double twister spread. Look at the speed he's carrying through here. What a run.
The #1 qualifier. And that may be a #1 kind of run from 15-year-old Travis Cabral.
I have never seen anything like this. I guess that's why they call him the Terminator. Look at the height on that. And the strength, triple twister. Bringing it right back together. Flying through these moguls like they don't even exist. Coming into the bottom air, again. Huge pop, which is the lift off the jump. A double twister spread. Remains control. Coaches Raymond DeVries and Duke Peterson at the top just going nuts. I would be too.
Just a sophomore at South Lake Tahoe High School and a star may be born. Yes, 28.10. Travis Cabral is the national champion.
What a moment for this kid. And the South Lake Tahoe team, his teammate Basile in third. What a moment.
Travis Cabral picks up the gold medal. Caleb Martin in second place. Tony Basile in third. And Olympic champion Johnny Mosley, perhaps suffering from a little fatigue, finds himself in fourth place. Let's get down to Corey Carlson with the winner.
All right, Bob and Travis, going into today, could you have imagined that this would have been the outcome, a national championship?
It just feels great. I'm happy for everyone, especially for my teammates, and I just hope the best of luck for everyone.
Now, what was it like when you were standing in the starting gate there with, I guess, the weight of the world on your shoulders?
Well, I was told by a couple people that not to put any pressure on myself, just go out there and have fun. Did exactly that and did as best I could, and that's what I did.
And the best he could do was the best anyone could here today at Deer Valley. Final thoughts, Trace Worthington?
I just couldn't imagine winning the national championships at the age of 15. What a great moment. I'm sure the U.S. ski team has their eyes on this kid.
For Trace Worthington and Corey Carlson, I'm Bob Barsha. Thanks for being with us so long from Deer Valley in Utah. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network. go.com.
Yeah, the U.S. Open's a fantastic event. It has so much history. This is the 12th time I've been here.
This is like the biggest event we have all year. The best competitors are here.
Oh, pipe's so good. I'm stoked. Sunny U.S. Open. I mean, can you believe it?
So yeah, I'm stoked to be in here. That's the main thing. Just sunny, there's a lot of people. That's what gets me going.
There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of reasons that the U.S. Open Snowboarding Championship is the biggest annual event in professional snowboarding. But it is simple as this. The U.S. Open has a world-class field of competitors and an electric atmosphere that leaves other annual events groveling in comparison. There is no equal. Stay with us as we blow the lid off this frantic celebration of snowboarding insanity. The 17th annual U.S. Open is next on ESPN.
Finals and freestyle skiing. Well, when Johnny Mosley took the gold at Nagano, the Finns took second and third. They've been dominant in the world ever since, Craig.
They definitely have. They're an extremely deep field of athletes. And I tell you what, Lauri Lassila took a bad crash, so he's out. There is a bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly here today as well for the Finns.
Yeah, in the first run, it was a mixed bag for the Finns. The world champ, though, was very strong.
Yeah, Jani Lahtila clinched first place with a huge Daffy double twister spread like that one, but Sami Mustonen took a big crash off the top jump, excuse me, with a big quad twister, dropped his chest, went right over the bow. But Evan Divig is promising in second place right now with a huge heli iron cross. He's the man.
In fact, the Americans stand very good after the first run. They qualified second and third, did Evan Divig and Ryan Riley. Same format as the women's field. 12 finalists skating in the reverse order of how they finished in the first round, and it's one run for gold. And the first skier is Pierre-Alexandre Rousseau, a young Canadian. The Canadians always very strong in mogul skiing. As we mentioned during the women's field, this is the premier event in the mogul season. So we've got a great blend here. Some Olympic veterans, some medalists with some of the up-and-coming young stars.
And Pierre-Alexandre, otherwise known as PA, has done pretty well this season. He's seen himself on the podium a couple of times this year, and he definitely wants to see himself up there again today. Big quad twister, landed that thing so nice with his hands right out in front of him. Now he's ripping that middle section. Huge triple twister spread. Man, that's a nice run. That's a great way to start off today's men's competition.
Well, that's a nice comeback, too, for Rousseau. Had a bad fall in his first run and barely qualified for the finals. But it comes across strong here.
Let's take another look at his top jump. It's a big, fat quad twister. Each time his skis get way across the hill. That's excellent. And another look at his bottom jump. Sets up nicely. He does a no-pole takeoff. Misses his pop just a little bit, but still gets in a big triple twister spread. He's like, yeah, I made finals.
Oh, and he comes out. That's a terrific score, 27.19 for Rousseau. That is not a score that's going to be very easy for many people to beat.
No, that's quite a benchmark, particularly considering he was the first guy out of the gate.
Well, a country that's really in a rebuilding mode right now in men's moguls is France. They were one of the pioneers in the sport. This is young Guillaume Gontier.
And we see a team rotation kind of cyclically. There was a time and a place where the French were extremely dominant. Now it's all about the Finns, but Guillaume's ripping it up.
It's the first major international competition for Gontier.
Going for a nice Daffy double twister spread off the bottom. In training, he wasn't quite getting in that spread quite as well as he needed to.
23.9. What do you think will be the strong times for the men's run?
That's difficult to say. You know, the pace set time is 28.21, but they're blowing that away by 5 seconds. Another look at the top jump. Sets up for a triple twister spread. Gets a nice takeoff, good lift. Little skimpy on that last twister, but nevertheless, got it all in.
25.76 for Guillaume Gontier of France. Now, one of the two Finns qualifying for the finals. This is Mikko Ronkainen. Mentioned the two top Finns not skating in this final. Sami Mustonen falling in the first run here and being out. Lassi Laurila with an injury pulling out of the event.
But they're so deep, it just doesn't matter. They're still completely capable of winning this event and even, getting first and second. Nice heli iron cross spread. He spotted at 180, threw a huge iron cross, and then again at 360 explodes into a gigantic spread. That was excellent. Then a big quad twister off the bottom jump. Now he's got to let it run across the finish line, and that's exactly what he's doing. He is pumped up.
Well, these first three men who all struggled in their first run have just come out and done fabulously to start the finals.
Yeah, I think they were looking for redemption. Another look at the top jump. It's a big heli iron cross spread. Very well done. Spots at 180 with a big X, and then again at 360 explodes into a gigantic spread. That's excellent. With his hands right in front, sets him up nicely for the middle section. He's waiting for his score. I think it's going to be up there.
These frustrating moments for the skiers as they wait for the judges. 7 judges. The high and the low scores are thrown out. The other 5 are the ones that prevail.
Right, 50% is based on turns. It's a 27.70. Wow, he takes the lead.
That's another outstanding score. Well, the first 3 skiers in this men's moguls final have set some pace. The rest to come on TNT.
Discipline creates performance. As of the most recent calendar year end, the AIM Weingarten Fund outperformed the S&P 500 for a 30-year period, something only a handful of mutual funds can claim. The idea is discipline, the purpose is performance, the name is AIM.
Mr. Warm and Fuzzy himself.
There's a new superhero in town. See Shaquille O'Neal take on Judd Nelson. Steel. Tonight at 6 on TNT.
Chemotherapy. You're not prepared for how tired it makes you feel. Every year we have a small town parade. And every year I take my place with the other veterans. But this year, I was so tired and short of breath. I thought, I've survived battles and I've survived war. I just hope I'll have the strength to march in the parade.
Are you a chemotherapy patient? Ask your doctor about Procrit. Procrit is a natural way to regain red blood cells lost during chemotherapy. And more red blood cells can mean more strength. Procrit is safe and effective. In studies, only diarrhea and edema occurred more often with Procrit than placebo. Procrit is for patients with non-myeloid cancers. Call now and learn how Procrit can help you get back the strength you need. Your strength for living.
I have a motto. 1 step back, 2 steps forward.
Look at what you're missing this month on Turner Classic Movies. Over 350 classics from the world's largest movie library, and not a commercial in sight. Don't you wish you had Turner Classic Movies?
Back live on TNT, our coverage of the Winter Goodwill Games continues, and we're loaded with live coverage this afternoon. This is Al Troutwig at Moose Lodge. You look at the Mackenzie Intervale Complex, and coming up next, the live Nordic combined cross-country sprint to the finish. But right now, it's time for the big American guns at Moguls. Let's go back to Ted Robinson.
All right, Al, there are the standings early in the final round of men's moguls. Mikko Ronkainen of Finland has the lead, but there are 4 Americans as well as a couple of strong Canadians and the world's best right now, Jani Latvala of Finland, still to come. Toby Dawson, 21 years of age. He's from Vail, Colorado. Born in Korea, adopted by an American family, moved to this country at age 3. Started skiing at age 4. And this, Craig, you think one of the real young hopes the Americans have?
Absolutely. He is really aggressive when it comes to not only his speed, but huge explosive jumps. And that's what we saw right there. A nice big heli iron cross. Now he's ripping the middle section. His feet are out in front of him a little bit, but he pulls it back together nicely for a huge quad twister. Man, it looked like he just floated that thing.
Now you're seeing why they call this big air. Such magnificent athletic prowess by these skiers. And Toby Dawson with a good time.
And he's fired up too, as he should be. Let's take another look at that top jump. It's a big heli iron cross. Goes for a 3-point takeoff. That means that he plants his pole right at the top of the jump, spots at 180, does a nice iron cross, and then comes around for 360. Excellent. Another look at his bottom jump. Counter gets a little bit high, but then he brings it back together. Counters, by the counters, I'm talking about his upper body. Excellent.
And that great form coming down the end as well. So now the wait for the score of Toby Dawson. And 26-14, that will leave him in 4th place.
He's an explosive skier. I think we'll see him definitely in the future.
So now at the top, as you get a great look down at what the Moguls themselves encounter standing at the top. Richard Gay, a veteran from France. 28 years of age. He's the most seasoned French mogul skier.
He uses great range of motion. You notice that he really absorbs those bumps. That's important. Nice heli mute grab off the top jump. That's excellent. And now he's just ripping the middle section. Got his hand behind him a little bit, but got it all together. Oh, dropped his vision, took a shot on the landing. That's going to be a bit of a deduction. We've seen so many excellent runs. The judges are going to be really nitpicky, trying to separate the winners from the pack. We started to touch on judging criteria a little bit earlier. It's 30 points possible, and 50% goes to turns, 25% go to air, and 25% speed. Another look at the bottom jump. Triple twister spread. Well done. Drops his vision just a little bit, though. Takes a shot.
Richard Gay now waiting for his score. And it's 24-61. That will leave him in 6th place. Well, you mentioned 50% of the score here is turns and line. That's the skiing part, and there's probably no one better through the 90s at that, Craig, than the man we will see in just a moment as we look at these standings right now. Mikko Ronkainen of Finland, still the leader. Pierre-Alexandre Rousseau of Canada, 2nd, and Cédric Régnier-Laforgue of France is in 3rd. But this is the man who won a gold medal at the Olympic Games in Lillehammer. He was the world champ in 1997. He was the favorite in Nagano, only to be upended by Johnny Mosley, Canada's Jean-Luc Bressard.
And he is such a technician. I love the body position that he maintains while he's skiing these bumps. Nice triple twister spread off the top jump. Explodes. He's just so explosive in the air. And a big Dappy double twister spread off the bottom. You know what? I saw better Dappy double twister spreads off from him in training. That spread wasn't as big as he is capable of performing.
Jean-Luc Bressard with those yellow patches he always wears on his knees to help the judges get a better look at his form coming down.
It's become somewhat of his trademark to have fluorescent knee pads. There's another look at his top jump. Big triple twister spread. You see that spread eagle is gigantic, and that's the last thing that the judges see, so they're going to really reward him for that. But on the Dappy double twister spread, his spread isn't quite as big. He's a great skier.
But he is a great skier, and that's what gets him a score that gives him 1st place, and that's an exceptional score. 28-17 for Jean-Luc Bressard.
You know, that's amazing. There have been some competitions in the past where 27.19 would easily win.
Well, Jean-Luc Bressard has the lead, but the heavyweights are still to come in the finals of men's moguls.
Statistics show when you take Motrin IB the minute you feel a headache, cheering is 20% louder and goals are met with 68% more enthusiasm.
Three-time Olympian Jean-Luc Bressard of Canada has the lead in the final round of men's moguls at Whiteface. There are 4 skiers remaining, 3 of them Americans, all very strong qualifiers in the first round. Jean-Luc Bressard, a gold medalist in men's moguls at the Lillehammer Games, now waits for 3 Americans and a Finn to come down to try to beat his score. And it will be a tough one to beat. This is Alex Wilson. He skied for the Americans in Nagano, placed 10th in those games. A World Cup win last year at Heavenly. And he's from Buffalo, New York, Craig, so you know he's got a lot of fans here.
Absolutely. You know, Alex Wilson is one of the most consistent skiers out here. He just needs to find something to pump it up to that next level. And that way he'll be consistently in the top 3.
And we found the Alex Wilson fan club.
Hey, they're all over.
And he's also, of course, he has had some good success skiing on this very slope. Well, Alex Wilson, be followed by Ryan Riley and Evan Dybvig, 3 American hopes here at a shot at gold.
You see him looking very focused up at the top of the course, doing some last-minute visualization before he attacks these moguls. Coming in at a top jump. Boom! Big quad twister. That was excellent. And now he's just dicing the middle section. Hands right out in front of him, ready to go, ready to rip a huge dappy double twister spread off the bottom jump. Man, we've seen some excellent skiing out of everyone today, and Alex Wilson is pumped up, as he should be.
Well, you know, they can only applaud for each other because the caliber of skiing we've seen in this final round has been exceptional.
Sure has. These guys are just going off the handle. Another look at the top jump. Absorbing those moguls very well. Does a no-pole takeoff. That's excellent. Hands right out in front of him. Then does a huge quad twister. And then another look at his bottom jump. It's a daffy double twister spread. Well done. Explodes into a gigantic spread on that trick. Typically we don't see 27s go down to 4th place, but this course a little easy.
Or 28 even, which is what the lead is now for Bressard at 28-17. Jean-Luc Bressard watching, Alex Wilson waiting for his scores. What is it like for a skier when you think you've done okay and you're just in this moment of wait?
Well, it depends. You can handle that anticipation just as long as the outcome is good. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, if you're expecting a good score and you don't get it, your heart just drops to your stomach.
This is when you start thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe I wasn't as good as I thought I was. What's the problem here? Well, Wilson is good. Look at that score, 27.58. That's good for 3rd place.
Boy, there's been some great skiing going on.
So now we go to the top, and Ryan Riley, 20 years of age, from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. He's had 3 straight top 10s in World Cup, a gold medal in the duels at the U.S. Freestyle a year ago.
And he was sitting in 3rd place after semifinals earlier today. Comes in, throw a huge Bronco off the top jump. That's a heli with the spread in the middle of it. We call that the Bronco. And that's a nice high-energy quad twister. You saw he got up there, got right to business, busting out big, sick quad twister.
And he finishes with a flourish, the Chichi Rodriguez finish of mogul skiing. Ryan Riley looked terrific coming down the end there.
Yeah, I really like his style. He has a great body position at all times. Here's another look at his bottom jump. Rips a big quad twister, lands with his hands right out front, drops his vision just a little bit on the shot on that landing, but Gets right back into the groove of things.
Well, with Johnny Mosley taking some time off, not competing here at the Goodwill Games or much this winter, it's nice to see other young Americans emerging, and Ryan Riley takes over second place with 27.84.
This will be a big confidence booster for Ryan.
So now we're down to the final two skiers. Jean-Luc Bressard of Canada continues in the lead. And here is Evan Dibbig, a 24-year-old native of Tunbridge, Vermont. Also a member of the United States Olympic team at Nagano.
What I like about Evan is that he stays nice and tall. This allows him to keep his feet underneath him and just take on any kind of terrain that comes at him, whether it's a huge bump or a big 720 like that. Wow! Everyone's really pumping it up. Wow. Big 720 off the top, big quad twister off the bottom, and then he stays nice and tall, just as I started to explain, down through the finish line.
Boy, they've all been playing Can You Top This, Craig, and Dibbig unleashing his patented move, the 720 top air, and that's going to be a great score to watch.
Let's take another look at that top jump. You know, a lot of times when people are throwing 720s, they really have to wrap up, but he just brings in his arms a little bit, brings it around nicely for the landing. Man, it's nice and tall again.
All right, let's go down to Sean Smith.
Evan, you nailed that 720. Are you psyched, bud?
Totally. You know, I think I was a little rough maybe coming out of it, but you know, I stuck it and skied the run. I'm really happy.
Dynamic run. Talk about the turns. Very fast skiing.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was pretty fast time. And just, you know, my turns have been coming along this year, just trying to keep my hands and hips up and not get bogged down in the bumps.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at your score right there. What do you think of that? Not quite what you wanted.
27.62 is a high score. Fourth place is not a great place, but bummer.
Thanks a lot. Great job.
Well, there it is in a nutshell. It's actually a great score. The problem is this has been an incredibly competitive field.
Right.
So Evan Dibbig is in fourth, and right now the world's best is the last man to get a shot at Jean-Luc Bressard.